So I need to address something that is, it's not like it's been on my mind lately. It's just like, I just realized I never really addressed it. So I made a video a while back, like, called, like, Captain Jack Harkness is my fake boyfriend or something. I haven't, like, most of my videos I rewatch a bunch. That is one video I have not rewatched. I pretty much just uploaded it and then just left it, so I haven't rewatched it since then. I pretty much don't know what I said in that. I don't really remember anything about making the video. I just know it exists. But what was I saying? Pretty much. So basically, I don't remember what I said in that video, but I'm just gonna recap. So, what actually was going on. I was a bit unhealthily obsessed with Torchwood and Captain Jack Harkness and such. It actually wasn't as bad as, like, unhealthily, it actually wasn't as unhealthy as my Cameron Boyce obsession, but it was pretty bad. I have a bad habit of, like, being unhealthily obsessed. Like, when I'm not, like, being a dramatic fangirl saying, I'm so obsessed with it. Like, I was literally unhealthily obsessed. Like, it was an actual problem. Like, like, the thing, okay, like, here's the difference. Like, how, when I was into Black Veil Brides and Andy Biersack, that was, like, a normal fan girl-ish thingy. Like, that's how you'd normally react. Like, I mean, how you'd normally act about it. I wasn't, like, I didn't spend hours of the night thinking about Black Veil Brides and, like, making up a version of Andy Biersack in my head, or dreaming about Andy Biersack, or, like, thinking that that he was in front of me, like, or thinking that I was psychically connecting to him in dreams, which the psychic connection in dreams is a whole other story, because part of me still believes that I have that ability. I know I sound like a crazy person, but I said part of me. That's like a little small quarter of me. The majority of me thinks it's total bullcrap, and I'm a nutcase. That is probably true. I pretty much am a nutcase. Which is what this video is explaining, that I'm insane. So, basically, I had a very unhealthy obsession with Torchwood and Captain Jack Harkness, and so basically, one day, I was sitting in my room, just being a total crazy, doing what I think a lot of teenage girls do. Don't quote me on this, because I'm not every teenage girl. I am one teenage girl. I feel like a lot of teenage girls do this, and they just don't want to tell people that they do this. But I was sitting in my room pretending that I had a boyfriend. And obviously I knew that nobody was there. I was just, like, talking to nobody. I was just, like, imagining. I was like, imagine what it'd be like realistically, like, have a realistic conversation if I had a boyfriend and he was sitting right there. Like, so I just started, like, pretending to talk, and I was, in my head, I was, like, imagining this boy that I had a crush on. It sounds so stupid. But then the more I started to, like, every day I kept doing it over and over and over again, and eventually I started imagining him as Captain Jack Harkness and not as his boy. And it got to a point, I was just, like, talking to thin air every single day, and, like, pretending that I was, like, literally, like, I almost legitimately thought that it would, like, that part of me, in the back of my mind, I knew that he wasn't really there, but, oh my gosh, I'm so nuts, I'm so insane. I'm a literal crazy person. Anyway, part of me knew that he wasn't actually legitimately there, but I still was, like, just talking to, I thought he was, okay, basically I thought he was, like, in his version of reality, and that I was in my version of reality, and the realities were blending together, and I could, like, somehow see, like how we could somehow just see each other, and that how, like, I wasn't really there, like, cause, like how in my mind, I thought that, like, in my mind, he was just, like, this faded image that I could kind of touch, but not really touch, and this kind of faded, see-through ghost-like thing, and I was the same to him, in his version of reality. But here's the thing. Okay, well, let me get to this. Like I said, I don't know how much of this I've explained before in that video. When I made that video, I think I tried to play it off like I am in a good mental state like I am right now. But when I made that video, I really wasn't, and I legitimately thought that he was real. It's actually legitimately scary to think that I actually thought this. Like, even now, I'm like, who am I? What was that? Why did that happen? What on earth was wrong with me? Okay, so basically what I was saying, okay, it is Saturday night. Tomorrow is Sunday. We are going to church. I am trying to pick out an outfit so I can actually wake up and get dressed while making a video. So lately I've heard of this thing called tulpas. I'm not really sure. I think these people, like, legitimately believe that, like, they're making, that somehow with the power of their mind, they're legitimately making a person. Or I don't know if they actually believe that, or if they know that they're literally just making themselves crazy. Which is basically what I did. So I'm like, wow, I'm hearing more about this, and I'm like, there's so many similarities between me and that thing. But this is what scares me about this. I kind of blacked out for some things that... So it's... Okay, here basically what I'm saying is, I didn't want to just say, well, basically, I've heard of this thing called tulpa, and basically I had a tulpa a couple years ago, because then it would sound like I heard of tulpas, and I would decide, that sounds cool, let's make one. No, I literally had no idea what the heck this thing was, and I, like, you can actually make yourself crazy. That sounds so weird, but you can, like, make yourself... It might be related to, I don't know if I have a mental disorder or something, but I get unhealthily obsessed with people and things and stuff like that. I don't know if I have that. Sometimes I feel like I have some kind of weird form of OCD, but I don't think it's actual OCD. Because I do have, like, some OCD-ish tendencies, but, I mean, I don't know much about OCD, but isn't that, like... Look at the state of my room. It doesn't exactly look like... I don't know. All I know about OCD is a Rhett and Link song. But, I mean, I have, like... I don't know if that's tied somehow to my fear of, like, wasting things. And I tell that to people, and they don't really get the full scale of the fear of wasting things. It's, like, literally... where is it? I have so much. I don't know which one of these videos I'm releasing first, but okay, let me see. I have so much old, this is like filled with 5-year-old makeup, and don't worry, I'm not that stupid. I don't put it on my face. I'm so afraid of wasting old makeup and old nail polish and old anything that I'm literally a hoarder. And okay, so what I'll do with old makeup is I paint with it. I also apparently save old pieces of styrofoam. I'm working on this thing. It looks weird at the moment, I know. Everything looks terrible in process. But I'm making a video of that. It's taking me days and days and days, a really long time. I probably will release this video first. Yeah. So basically, I don't know if sometimes I feel like I have some kind of disorder, but I don't really tell any kind of therapists or anything because it's not really a hindrance on my life, and it's not necessarily. I mean, yeah, I guess I could try to fix it. I've been a little bit better about the wasting thing, but clearly not as better as I could be because I'm still a hoarder. But like, I don't know, just the idea of throwing something away that, like, still could be used. Even, like, scrap pieces of paper, which is I'll try to, like, squeeze out a use for. Like, I, make freaking paper chains or paper flowers or do some kind of origami out of them. And then I just leave that sitting around for decoration until it gets crumbled up or something, and then I throw it out. But, like, it's hard for me to throw it away. Like, I'm like, I still could use it for something. Anyway, bottom line, I'm a hoarder. I get obsessed with things. I feel like I don't know what I have. Something is wrong with me. I am a nutcase. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about my literal freaking tulpa. Captain Jack. So basically, what was scary was I blacked out. I literally, for some parts, I like, it's not like completely blacked out, like I actually remember now, but in the moment I didn't remember. So let me explain. I believed that I was like having an actual like relationship. Like I would sometimes pile up blankets, and I wouldn't think that the blankets were actually his body. I would like say here's the thing, I would talk to him about how he wasn't real, and he'd be like, yeah, that's really sad, I wish I were really there next to you. It was really weird. I would like talk to him about it. Oh my gosh, actually wait, it's like literally midnight. I need to take some magnesium. I did this weird thing, and it might be tied into my fear of wasting things and also a fear of like wasting space. I like to put things in other containers a lot because I don't like things taking up space, despite the fact that I am a hoarder. So I put all my pills and vitamins and type things in jars. And I embroidered, and I literally couldn't find a lid, so I did this really stupid tacky looking thing and put a paper towel with a rubber band on top, and then I embroidered what it was, so it's the M for magnesium. Anyway, I'm a weirdo nutcase. And then when people ask me, tell me something interesting about yourself, I'm like, I don't know, I'm a boring person. I'm not gonna say, I don't know, I had an imaginary friend and I thought he was real and I slept with him. Like, that's really strange. By the way, please don't take that out of context. I didn't. Okay. I like slept. It was like, okay, what I was about to say was, I would pile blankets and I'd say to him, like, I'm going to pile these blankets where your body is so I can pretend that it's like your body so I can actually feel you. And he's like, I'm going to do the same thing. It was really weird and kind of creepy and disturbing now that I think about it. There's a reason I'm looking in a certain spot, because there's like a certain space. This is what really scares me about it, because sometimes I feel like he's still there. I don't know, I'm crazy. Anyway. Yeah. So, another thing, so basically, one time I fell asleep on top of him, like next to him, like cuddling him. And sometimes I wouldn't even like, sometimes I'd just like pretend like he was hugging me and there'd be nothing there. It got so bad that sometimes I actually felt his arms around me. Oh, it's so pathetic. This whole thing is really pathetic and weird. Basically, okay, like, I don't know if anybody will watch this and judge me for this and say, like, look at this weirdo. But I mean, in the time I wanted that to happen, but I don't want that to happen. Like, I don't want this. Like, I'm not fighting for acceptance of it. I'm not saying you should make a tulpa and that's normal. Like, it's not normal. I'm nutcase. Like, I'm totally insane. I am, hands up, don't shoot. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say hands up, don't shoot. It is not controversial. I didn't even think about it. Anyway. I am a nutcase, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm admitting it. Anyway. So, I keep trying to avoid this because this is the thing that I'm stalling this. I'm procrastinating saying this because this is the thing that disturbs me the most. I fell asleep, like, cuddling him, and then I woke up, and there were hickeys on my shoulder. Basically. Basically, I had... Okay. So I was really, like, confused and scared and nervous and like, told my sister I was, like, really freaking out. And I was like, how did I get these hickeys? This is so scary. And basically, I'd given him to myself in the middle of the night. Because it was on my shoulder. Like, who gives hickeys on shoulders? That's weird. If it be on my neck, I'd be, like, telling you right now that it was real. Because, like, how do you give yourself a hickey on the neck? Like, that doesn't physically make any sense. But physically, like, on your shoulder, like, it was, like, right here. Like, this sounds weird. This looks weird. But, like, you can do it. I didn't remember it. Now I remember it. But in the time, I was so delusional and messed up. This is why I'm saying you can literally make yourself insane if you want to. If you obsess over something long enough on purpose, if you think about something, if you try to, you can literally make yourself go nuts. You can placebo affect yourself. You can make yourself crazy. So basically, this has been a tutorial on how to make yourself go crazy. Yeah. So now I remember doing it, but I didn't at the time, and it was really scary. And just don't do it, kids, because it really messed me up severely. I am, like, screwed up in the head now. Not really a big hindrance, because a lot of other big things have happened in my life that have had a lot more impact and meaning on me than some stupid imaginary crap. But it's just sometimes it still does affect me. And you just don't try to make yourself go insane. And I also just wanted to clear up, if anybody ever watches that fake boyfriend video, to know that that is not how I feel about the situation anymore. It's really scary and disturbing, and I don't recommend doing it. I don't recommend trying to make yourself go nuts. Which I wasn't aware that's what I was doing at the time. Oh, how come I can't swallow this? Ugh. It doesn't have, like, when you swallow ibuprofen, it's like, the only things I swallow are, like, magnesium or ibuprofen. So, like, ibuprofen has, like, this fine coating and it just slides down your throat. Magnesium is, like, powdery and it doesn't. Thanks, I hate it. Like, ugh. It's a lot harder to get down for me. I know that's so small. I'm also another weird person. Another weird thing about me is I can't swallow pills, and they make me burp. I don't like pills. I don't like wasting, and I am insane. Just take the computer off of my bed and the phone off of my bed, and just all the clothes, you know, just chuck those to the end of the bed. Okay, so basically, one last note I wanted to hit on is that I don't know if I, like, made myself a tulpa or if I, like, okay. A, I made myself a tulpa without knowing what a tulpa was. B, I made myself go crazy. C, I actually have a mental disorder that I don't know about. Or D, there was a real supernatural spiritual being, or Captain Jack Harkness was connecting for me from another universe. Which one was it? I have no clue. But, okay, I do want to touch on the fact that tulpas, they're like things that follow you around. Like, you kind of control it, but, like, it's so hard to explain unless you experience it. But it was like, it was just right there in that spot. This is when my bed was just a mattress on the floor. But it was right here in this spot. That's where he was. Just right there. Like, he didn't move. Like, he didn't get up and go around with me. It was just right there. And when I, like, it was just so weird. And here's the thing. It was like a relationship. Like, it was a romantic relationship. And it wasn't a healthy one. I created this thing. I controlled it. And it must be something, I almost made myself have, like, dissociative identity disorder. Like, I almost split myself in two. I must have, like, taken some part of my dark demons and put them in side of this thing I created. It was an abusive relationship. So I was, like, I don't know, I felt like I was in an abusive relationship with myself. And it would be like he would beat me up. This is terrifying. It's really, truly terrifying. And like, it truly weirds me out. It truly, I sometimes still get uncomfortable going in that part of my bed. Although, why is there a paintbrush over there? I'm actually, okay. No. It was weird. It's like, why, if you, you would think, excuse me, you would think that if this stupid, dumb teenage girl, she's just creating an imaginary boyfriend inside her head because she's desperate and lonely. Okay, why, okay, like, if you would think that it would be this happy, like, go-lucky relationship if I created a fake relationship. Of course I would create the ideal relationship. But why on earth was it abusive? Like, why would I choose to make it abusive? And it's like, part of me did choose to make it abusive, and I'm not really sure why. And it's scary. Like, it's just scary. The whole thing just gets on my nerves. Like, and to see people, like, doing this and calling it a tulpa and acting like, wanting people to accept it and acting like it's okay, and, like, it's not okay. It's not, like, you should not do this to yourself. You should, it messes you up. And I have part of my desire to move out of this house. This is not the sole reason, of course not. I just don't like living in a pigsty for 16 years. But part of my reason for wanting to move out of this house is because I want to get as far away from that area as possible. One reason why we're gonna, obviously that's not the reason. Dad doesn't know anything about this, so that's not the reason he wants to do this, but I'm gonna move my room into there eventually, and that's gonna be my room instead of the schoolroom, and this is kind of be the more common room, schoolroom area, upstairs living room. I don't know what to call it. I'm really excited about that. It might not be a while because projects take us a really long time in this house. I'm really excited about that because I want to get my bed as far away from this corner as possible. I know I could move it to the other side of the wall, but at the same time, it doesn't really like affect me and scare me as much as I'm making it out to in this video. Even though I just said, like, don't do it, it'll mess you up. It's just kind of changed my mentality. It's changed my mentality into making myself, changed my mentality into that of a crazy person. So, like, listen, people who have dissociative identity disorder, people who have, obviously I'm no one to speak on behalf of people who have any kind of mental disorder where they're not really there with reality. I can't speak on their behalf. That would not, yeah. But most people, obviously, I don't think they would choose to be born with that. So why would you choose to make yourself go crazy? And all under the guise of, oh, it's fine, it's a tulpa. Now, here's the thing. I haven't heard people say, like, anybody who's all these stupid tulpa people, like, I've mostly heard, like, them just, it sounds like they're just, like, making imaginary friends, like, literal imaginary friends, not, like, friends. But I was in an imaginary abusive relationship, which is scarier. Because why? I had a plethora of options to choose from, and I chose to take my favorite character for my favorite TV show, pretend to be in a relationship with him, and pretend that he was abusive. Like, why would I do that? Like, what? As far as I know, there's no past trauma that would encourage that. But it's just, I don't like it. I don't like this mentality people are having about this. It's just not, I personally, just my personal experience, I don't like it. I think it's not healthy at all. Maybe you can do it as an experiment to see what the limitations of the human brain are, but as far as my experience is concerned, the human brain does not have very many limitations, and you can make yourself go nuts. At least if you're a fragile piece of crap like me. Apparently, maybe I'm easily manipulated. I don't know. I'd like to think I'm not, but I mean, I literally manipulated myself. That's basically what I did. So, this whole thing is just, I don't really know how to end this. I've been talking for 30 minutes. This is just scary. I just don't like it. Just don't do it.